What's up guys, this is Versus Z and welcome to week 3 of Writer Fest, and I'm bringing to you a video review of S.I.C Kiwami Tamashii Wait, what are you doing here? Right, but I already just reviewed you. What do you mean you didn't get a climax? I gave you the pose demo. Alright, do your thing. Alright, so now I bring to you a video review of S.I.C Kiwami Tamashii, Den-O in his sword form. Momotaro says to go check out Gyutar's introduction to S.I.C, or he'll possess you and give you really big hair that defies all gravity. That actually doesn't sound too bad. I kind of want that. Well, the big hair at least. The figure was released by Bandai in June of 2010. This is also series number 12 and retails for 1,200 yen or 13 to 14 US dollars. And on the back, some nice clean promotional photos of S.I.C Kiwami Tamashii Den-O sword form and the famous one-liner Ori Sanjo. Some of you guys who are actually viewing this probably have no idea what the heck just happened. Basically, in the story, Momotaro's Imagine takes possession or possesses the human body of Ryotaro, the physical form of Den-O, the body in there. The basic form of Den-O is called the platform, which is basically what you see under here, the black and gray. But when Momotaro's or any other of the four, I believe it's four, 3 or 4 Imagines, which are also color coordinated, take over, then the color changes. So you see Momotaro's here, who is in red. You see Den-O's sword form here, also in red. You can even see some design aspects that they share. If you're looking at these two and you have no idea, and you put them side by side, you can immediately tell that there's some connection, some relation with the two, and that's basically what it is. I can say straight up that this is probably one of the best designed figures of the S.I.C Kiwami Tamashii figures that I have in possession right now. It's probably one of my favorite too. I love the red paint apps and the design that they applied onto his chest to show you that it's related to Momotaro's. He has these different markings and linings in there, kind of like Momotaro's. You also have some black and silver here and there. The buckle is just absolutely gorgeous. Once again, given that this is a 4-inch figure, even the pieces of the Dengasher right here are really neat. Oops, that wasn't supposed to pop off. Nice metallic red paint app here. It's basically the same metallic red paint app that you see on Momotaro's Imagine, and very nice paint apps here. You got some silver, some sort of bone white, with some shades of gray and black panel lining, which is really nice. You get that same white here on the forearms as well. The paint detail on the fingers is just great. Overall, just really great paint apps. Even the compound eyes are very apparent. If you're wondering why his eyes look like that, I was told that this is a peach. You get plenty of accessories with this release. You have the pieces for the buckle where he attaches the Dengasher pieces, and you also have the same pieces for when the Dengasher are not on. Let's say when you're holding his Dengasher in sword form. That way it'd look alright. You also have a right hand to hold in the Dengasher in sword form, 2 fists, a thumbs for a proper Orisanjo pose. The figure has his splayed out hands plugged into him, so that's basically 3 pairs, making it 6 fists in total. Then you also have this very nice little liner pass. Articulation pretty much the same as any other S.I.C Kiwami Tamashii figure. Rotates left and right, can really only look down, can't really go up. You got these armor flaps which aren't floating like the rest of them, so you got these flaps that are attached onto his torso. Real nice, kind of like a movie War Machine from the Iron Man 2 figure series. You have the ball jointed shoulder. It can rotate and do whatever you want in another body. Real nice there. Rotate at the bicep or right below the shoulder. 2-pointed bend at the elbow. Once again, though it's not very apparent on this one, you can rotate it not just on the bicep but also on the forearm, and wrists are attached via ball joint. Rotate at the torso, left and right. Very good angles. Back at a good angle. Forward at a good angle. Legs can go back that far. Friggin' butt muscle. Kick forward about that far. Bend at the knee. Not as flush as I was hoping it to be, but that's what you get there. Probably the less looking human bend, but it's not too bad. Nice joint, by the way. And you have the, once again, 3-point ankle articulation, left and right, tilt up and down, and even the toe swivel. And it's a lot better on Den-O than it is on Momotaro's. Thanks to Den-O's sword form's articulation, he can pull off lots of wide-legged stances, and thank goodness for the toe swiveling there. It's a big improvement, not big improvement, but it's a nice thing to see compared to Momotaro's, even though he is volume number 13, which is one after this. This is just real nice to be able to have. The details even make this figure pop out even more. And yes, you can pose him holding the liner pass epically. There is a slight issue with him holding the liner pass though. Just like with S.I.C Kiwami Tamashii Faiz, having to hold his Faiz phone in blaster mode using a splayed out hand, it's not so bad here though. This one is one of those test the limits type of posability. His legs are pretty wide, his ankles are pretty bent, and his body is bent slightly forward, so there are some weight distribution things you need to deal with here. But other than that, it's really cool. This is one of the better poses that I could think of doing without the use of a Tamashii stage act. So it's really nice, really impressive. Bad angles, bad angles that I'm showing, but it looks real nice, looks pretty badass. Also notice the details on the Den Gasher, even in sword form, if it chooses to focus. Oh, there you go. Wait, now that I think about it, he had more of a roundhouse style kick, didn't he? What? No Tamashii stage act? Oh, fail. Alright, so my final climax is get this figure. It's really great. If you have already been collecting S.I.C Kiwami Tamashii figures and you do not have Den-O in sword form, add him onto your collection right now. He's a very solid figure. The details are really great. Although his colors are very simple, you have white, silver, black, red. If you look behind, there are more colors, but the colors just work really well. There's enough white, there's enough red, there's enough black, and there's definitely enough silver. I can't speak too much on the details because I have a lot to say, but just know that the details are really great. And oh snap, I just noticed. But on his forehead, a lot of details right there on the forehead. So really, really nice. Articulation, of course, is very basic S.I.C Kiwami Tamashii articulation, which is nice for the size of this figure. And you don't have a lot of quality control issues, except for these pieces. Well, not those exactly, but the empty ones without the Den Gasher pieces. For some reason, the pegs that attach into the holes of the buckle are a little thin, and they seem to pop off once in a while. It's not a very big complaint, but it's a notable enough QC issue for you guys to be aware of, because you don't want to be losing small pieces, and pieces on these Kiwami Tamashii figures are very small, especially the Den liner pass. So it's really great. You also, with that said, you also have a whole bunch of accessories to mess around with. So with the 1,200 yen that you spend, or the 13 or 14 US dollars that you spend, you really feel like you're getting a lot out of the package. Greatly detailed figure, good amount of accessories, good amount of articulation. It's just very neat overall. I don't have much to complain about the figure, and to tell you the truth, I'm gonna have to give this figure a 10 out of 10. Very solid purchase, I believe. And if you have a Momotaro's Imagine, or if you plan to get a Momotaro's Imagine with this figure, they definitely complement each other. Let's say, especially if you have Momotaro's and you don't have Den-O, then Den-O is a must. But if I were to pick between the two, of course you got to go with Den-O. But then again, you're probably might gonna want to have Momotaro's next to him anyway. They just look so great together. So with that said, hope you guys enjoyed this review and got something out of this. And thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of Rider Fest. That will be the final climax.